I thought last season we started fairly slow because of injury problems we had. We lost two of our major starters, two starters for the team, and it took us a little while to get adjusted, and toward the middle of the season, it seems like we were able to kind of get it back together, and we kind of made a run, and then when we got in the tournament, I thought we played extremely well. I thought we were conference tournament, we played against Troy and played a really good game, and then we were able to move on against Arkansas State in the semifinal game and just kind of fell a little bit short. And then we were able to get in postseason play. In postseason play in WBI, I thought we kind of grew up, having a few returners and getting a little bit more maturity, and played really well and ended up winning the WBI and felt a lot of confidence from that and building on to the program this year. So we're excited this year, with 9 returners and junior college kid coming in that has some experience with 3 freshmen. We feel that we're where we want to be. Now we just got to, stay clear of injuries and continue to work hard and just lay it on the line this year.
Thank you very much, Coach Brodhead. As a reminder to our members of the media, please press *1 at this time to get in the queue to ask questions for Coach Brodhead. Our first questions come from Brian Hudgens with The Advocate. Brian, please go ahead.
Hey, Gary. One thing I wanted to ask you about, you talked about that growth that the team had from the postseason success last year. Considering that you have some of those new players coming in and some of the changes that you have with the coaching staff and the offense, does that make the non-conference schedule this year pretty important as far as trying to, kind of work some things out and just see where everybody is and make improvements before you hit the conference?
There's no doubt, the non-conference schedule is going to be, it's always important, but it's going to be extremely important this year because we're going to be trying to, kind of feel out, with more numbers. I said that the other day. I think we're going to have, we should be 10 or 12 deep. I said 10 deep, and now I'm looking at the practice of this week or last week. It looks like we're going to be 12 deep. And so now with that many players that we're going to try to work in and trying to find the right rotations and stuff depending on matchups and stuff. So it's going to take us a little while. But, in the Sun Belt, playing 20 conference games is not the best scenario for us, so we got to do it a little bit quicker than normal. And I know with our first conference game on December 3rd against Monroe, it'll be a little bit tougher to do. But, it's just kind of what we do. It's kind of getting them ready. And I like where we at. I like the way practice is going and, see if we can bring it over into those non-conference games to where we can convert and get some wins in conference. So, yes, but it's exciting for us. It's a kind of a new change, that we do have healthy people, and, I think we're fairly talented with some new freshmen and stuff. So, you got returners that really know your system, and we're really good. We're going to be really good defensively, and, can we score a little bit more than we have in the past? And I think we can.
I was wondering, you look at the conference, you've got a handful of teams that have first place vote spread out over from UTA to Little Rock to Arkansas State. And you look at the faces on the preseason team, when you've got like a Ashley Beverly Kelly, the kid Rebecca Van Dyke from UTA, and is it kind of like a 50-50 deal with you, where like you're proud of the competitive level of the conference, but you're almost ready to be in the crowd and be cheering for some of these kids to get a diploma?
Well, you always kind of do. Yeah, it's a great point. We do. I tell you what, we got some great guards in our conference. And to play against them is always a challenge. But it's kind of what you coach for, and what your players play for is you always want to try to play the best. And I think our coaching staffs in the conference do a great job of developing kids and stuff. And so you're playing against some of the best, I feel, in the country. So it's been, for me, it's seeing that golf is gone. I'm kind of breathing a little bit better. We had most difficult time guarding her, and now that she's not here no more, it's kind of it makes it a little bit easier because we're so defensive minded. But to me, we're excited about able to move up in the conference because this is a tough conference. But at the same time, we're confident that we can compete in the conference, and that's what we took this job to win championships. And we're moving closer and closer to it. But we still got a lot of work ahead of us.
Thank you very much, Brian. Our next question has come from Dan McDonald with McD Media. Dan, please go ahead.
Hi, Gary. You talked earlier about your defense, about how your team's always been so defensive focused. What are you looking at to try to boost the offense there a little bit? Y'all didn't shoot the ball really, really well as a team overall last year, but you forced 22 turnovers a game. Would you like to get more of that in, a little bit more of a balance?
Oh, there's no doubt. And I think what we did is we went to softball, and we looked at how good our softball program is. And I relate softball to hitting and shooting. It's the same thing. And I watched Mike Lotief and him pound the ball in the cages and all that. So this summer we did the same thing. Our kids got in the gym and spent a lot more time, and they're doing it now. They do it early morning. We're still, we still like farmers. We get up early at sunrise, and we come in, and then they get shots up, and man, I'm seeing a big improvement. And then the other thing we did, with Coach Katz and Coach Deacon is, we're working more specifically on some offenses that are going to create, better offense for the post players and the guards. We were so guard oriented when we first got here that we didn't get much touches in the post. And now you're going to see Simone Fields and a couple of these freshmen kind of show up and get a little bit more touches, and I think we'll be harder to guard. And so when you're a little bit harder to guard, you tend to get better shots and all that. Now our defense is still going to be the backbone of our program, but I think we're going to be a little bit funner to watch too. We're a transition team. We like to get up and down. We like to press. So all those things are going to be a positive things for us. So it's exciting. I think we're going to be excited about the new opportunity we have.
One more question on the new rules, going to the quarters and the advancing at the end and so forth. Are you a fan of those, and how do you think that's going to affect everything?
I really don't know, Dan. That's a great question. It's like I'm so old school that, sometimes the change is, when usually change is good. I think they're trying to speed up the game. I think, to me, though, they want more scoring, and I think if we want more scoring, we got to get better shooters, instead of it being a wrestling match and all that, like in the past. So I don't know, I don't know if we're moving that's going to move us in the right direction. Years ago we went from the big ball to the small ball. I think that was a great thing to do for the women, and they're talking about all the other things. It's all about scoring, and for me, it's not. I don't think you have to enjoy the game just on the offensive side, but. With the new rules, it's most of them are leaning toward playing the game a little bit faster and, entertainment, And I think basketball, when Naismith came out with it, it was really entertainment. Entertaining. That's why it is where it is today. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm a fan of it, but I don't have no choice. I got to try to adjust to it.
One more question on the defense. People they're going to let you put your hands on the back of the post now and so forth. Does that change what you do defensively?
Not really. I think we're pretty aggressive in the post and stuff. But we're never in the back of them. We're so short we front. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm looking at. I actually watched the film yesterday on the NCAA stuff, and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, shoot, we really never do have that opportunity, but. And I don't know, we got a little bit more size this year that we may be able to play a little bit behind people, but will it affect us a little bit? I think so, but, you get a feel for it, and, I'm all right with it. The freedom of movement I really like and stuff, so there's some things that within that. But, the post play, it's going to be interesting. I hate watching the film, and they say they're going to do it, and they don't do it. By the time the midseason comes around, and we're playing the old way, So hopefully they kind of stick to their guns this year and make those calls.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Coach Brodhead. That's all the time we have today. We appreciate your time.
Okay, we appreciate the Sun Belt. I want to make a mention to the Sun Belt that I really do appreciate. I know they knew I went through some personal things with my wife that just passed away, and the cards and for the scholarship fund that the Sun Belt came through for us and the coaches in the Sun Belt, it really, really uplifted our family, and we really appreciate all y'all done.